April Stockwood began smiling the moment she got off the plane. "I can't believe it. I'm actually in Venice," she said. "You're not in Venice. You're at Marco Polo Airport," her friend Stephanie grumbled, adjusting her heavy shoulder bag, a tote, and a jacket. "Close enough," April said, as she and Stephanie joined the hordes of travelers headed for immigration and passport control. One line for naturals, another for foreign visitors. Most of the passengers were looking a little worse for wear after the nearly 8-hour trip across the Atlantic in the middle of the night. But despite the fact that it was barely dawn, passengers were chattering in half a dozen languages. "Señora!" April heard the impatient voice of the airport guard directing her to an available line. With her freshly minted passport in hand, she stepped forward. "Buongiorno," she said carefully to the young, uniformed customs officer. Rather than responding, he efficiently leafed through the document and stamped one of the many blank pages. He slid the passport back to April without once raising his gaze, and with a careless wave of his hand, dismissed her. April stepped aside to wait for Stephanie. "He wasn't very friendly," April commented as they continued through the rest of the newly built terminal toward baggage claims. "April, you're the only person in the universe I know who wakes up and hits the ground running. What is your problem? It's way too early in the morning to be cheerful." "I've never been to Europe before. I'm excited." "Yeah, I got that part," Stephanie mumbled, stifling a yawn. "You should be glad the agent didn't find a reason to ask a lot of questions. He didn't even look to see if I was the person in the photograph." Stephanie shook her head patiently, rolling her eyes. "You hardly look like you've come to overthrow the government. These agents must be bored as hell. They're not interested in your life story, girl." Just then, they both heard Stephanie's name announced over a PA system. "Did you hear that?" April asked. "We just stepped off the plane and already someone is looking for you." "I can't imagine who," Stephanie said. Without breaking her stride, she headed towards the information counter. She identified herself and was handed a phone. While she waited patiently, April chalked up Stephanie's lack of sympathy and enthusiasm to cranky cynicism. Stephanie had often told her that business travel was not a paid vacation. No matter, April was eternally grateful that she'd been asked to tag along to keep her friend company. She had no intention of confessing that just heading out to Philadelphia International Airport the night before had made her giddy with anticipation. She didn't pay much attention to Stephanie's conversation, only guessing the call was not from Stephanie's former boyfriend, Harrison. "Can't it wait a few days?" April heard Stephanie ask with some annoyance, continuing her conversation despite the distraction of all the noise around them. "I've already cleared customs. I was hoping to get the first meeting over with this afternoon." April glanced around at the other travelers. She felt a vague disappointment that everybody looked pretty much the same, except for the occasional colorful attire of an African or someone from the Middle East. There was little to distinguish one nationality from another. She glanced down at her black stretched pants, boxy blue sweater, and denim jacket. On her feet were sturdy half boots. She left her sneakers home because she'd read that European women didn't wear sneakers or jeans, but wore her shoulder-length dreadlocks tinted blonde, a dead giveaway that she was American.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it. at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.